Not long ago, the YouTube channel What Culture Horror released a video titled 39 Horror Movie Villains Who Encounter Something Worse. This video talks about a variety of characters in horror movies, be it protagonists, antagonists, and even secondary characters who encounter a character who's way worse than them. But I felt like this video was lacking in a few characters. So here is my list of 5 horror movie villains who encountered something worse. Before I start, I just want to clarify that I'll only be considering villains whose encounter with the something worse was the direct consequence of their actions, so I won't be counting characters like AJ from Barbarian, since even if he hadn't done that, he would still have encountered Mother. At the number 5 spot, we've got Frankie Mermaid in The Velocipaster. So Frankie here is a pimp who is the boss of Carol, who is Doug's friend. And Doug, his parents are murdered earlier in the movie. Then Frankie goes to confess, and among his sins, he mentions that he killed a couple who Doug realizes are his parents, so he kills them in a fit of rage. At the number 4 spot, we have Ellis and Marble in The Shed. So The Shed centers around a boy called Stan, who lives with his abusive grandfather Ellis, and him and his best friend Dahmer are constantly bullied at school by another guy called Marble. So one day, a vampire takes shelter inside of Stan's shed, and ends up making short work of Ellis when he goes to investigate, and then Dahmer forces Marble inside the shed, leading to him being killed. At the number 3 spot, we have Dean, Joey, Sammy, Rickles, Peter, and Frank in Abigail. So Abigail centers around these 6 criminals who have never met before and are not allowed to talk to each other using their real names, who have to kidnap the daughter of a rich business owner to try and ransom her for money. However, the daughter of this guy turns out to be a vampire and ends up kind of slaughtering most of them there. At the number 2 spot, we have Judge Turpin in Sweeney Todd the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So Judge Turpin is a judge who had a man arrested for a crime he didn't commit because he was in love with the man's wife. And he then tried to court the wife, but she wasn't interested in him. So one day he forced himself on her, causing her to poison herself. And when her husband escaped from prison and learned about what had happened, he made it his mission to track the judge down and kill him, which he does in the end. So at the number 1 spot, we have Jules and Mickey in Villains. So Jules and Mickey are a couple of criminals who break into a family home to find out that the couple living there is keeping a little girl trapped, chained up in their basement. And in fact, the tagline to this movie is even 2 bad people meet even worse people.